Now what's this gonna be? You know how I played it all. That nigga burning G. All by his bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Bitch, I'm all up by my bread. All by my bread. Now what's this gonna be?
Welcome back to another episode from the PBC, Pelican Bay Corner, where I give it to you fair and unbiased, raw and uncut. Some will like it and some ain't, man. Big shout out, much appreciation to everybody that support the channel, all my brothers and sisters down in the chat, all my brothers and sisters that's listening to the video, no matter where you at on this good old green earth. Like I always say, man, we got some news, breaking news from my brothers and sisters from the PBC, satellites from outer space, you know, and them CNN satellites from outer space. We're going to talk about it, my brother. We're going to talk about it, man. I hope everybody having a great Friday, ready to get this weekend started. You know, like I said, breaking news, fresh out the press. I'm going to give it to my brothers. Hope everybody doing the right things out there with these pets, and big salute and big shout out to everybody that's taking care of these pets, no matter where you at out there, you know. We got some breaking news from Kershaw, South Carolina. You know, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. If you can't see it, I can't see it. You know, if you can't, I can't. I'm just here to get the news, and truthfully, you know, brothers get mad when you throw a little opinion in it. So I'm just gonna give you the news, you know. Kershaw, drug bust. What we always talk about, brothers and sisters? What we always say it all lead from. You know, it's always drugs. You know, I told you from my own experiences, it's always drugs. I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. When I got in trouble back in the days, I never knew, you know, and that's why I brought it to the internet. I never knew drugs led to the other things when it comes to dogs, you know, because if you go back and look at my article, when it happened with me, and look at what's supposed to be animal abuse to my dogs, what's supposed to be dogs with dog fighting wounds on them, man, them wasn't no dog fighting wounds. They had two pictures of two different dogs. One dog ear had a slit on it. The dog ear had a slit on it the size of your pinky fingernail, you know, and I mean literally a small little slit. And the other dog had a little rough edges around the jaw area right here where a little bit of hair is removed. And they showed them two spots on my dog saying them was dog fighting wounds or whatever. Now, you know, I told y'all brothers and I told y'all sisters, the people that arrest me didn't care about them dogs because it was not looking bad. I only had it was 6 dogs in my yard. I only had 6 dogs. And it was not looking bad. Them folk know they wasn't looking bad. But the woman that I gave y'all the news article for maybe last part of last year, that got fired from the Horry County Police Department for sexual activities amongst the co-workers and different things, you know, she was doing bad stuff, you know, and she kept doing bad stuff. Even down when the Walkmall dogs got took, she was doing bad things. She make up fake charges and fake arrest warrants and all that type of stuff like that when it comes to them dogs. I know plenty of people that she railroaded, and I told y'all that then. Them folk didn't care nothing about that. She went and made up some dog fighting shit just to be part of the program. To say, oh, he got these charges on him. Now let's go ahead and throw these dog charges on him. And like I told y'all, brothers and sisters, that was the last time. I doubt I'll buy one right now, you know, but that was the last time I had a dog trial. I spent about $4,000, $5,000 on that treadmill, at least $4,000 after shipping. And I had the Evo Deluxe, top of the line, tilt, uphill, downhill, shocks, brake system, speed amount, every damn thing was on it, you know. It wasn't, you know, I get the ones off Amazon now because they're a whole lot cheaper. And it basically, you know, the same thing. Only thing I will say is, To the brother that's making them dog trotters, his treadmills is way better than the ones you get off Amazon, and you can tell it when you get one in your possession. You know, and all of them do the same thing, spin around. If you're just looking for the spin, to get you one off Amazon. But if you're looking for all the dings and the whistles and all that type of stuff, get that one. You know, but anyway, you know, we're going to Kershaw, man, where a drug warrant was being served, like always. They're giving you, you know, for the drug charges. And then the man walking around the yard and he spots something with the dogs. Says over 20-some dogs were seized in this particular situation. I'm going to give you the press conference, the news article, the press conference. And like I said, we're coming from Kershaw. This will be in your Midlands area. That same area of South Carolina, you know. Going back towards Columbia, going back towards all them areas of South Carolina. And as you're going to see, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, the SLED, is involved with this investigation, as well as other agencies from South Carolina and Kershaw. You know, they're going to show a majority of the dogs that they took from this particular seizure were puppies. With, you know, several grown dogs, but a majority of them was puppies. Now, like I said, I'm just here to give the news. No personal opinion, but what I will say is, when they gave the press conference, if you pay attention, when they give the press conference, you're going to see that they got 5 people arrested. You know, but from the news article, they got 6 people arrested. So somehow or another person got arrested since the press conference came out, or since the first initial arrest. Another person got arrested. You know, one person claimed the dog, so they gave him all the dog charges, you know, as far as the animal abuse or animal cruelty or whatever. You know, and I want to say this before I let this article on. Who can we trust when it comes to these dogs? You know, who can we trust when we come to the dog? Literally, I mean, like vets wise, and these people, Animal Humane Society and different things. Who can we trust? And I'm gonna give you my reason why I say that. When I went through that situation with Mellow Yellow, and I took her to the vet, I told y'all what the vet told me that day, and that made me look at the vet. Only way it kind of evened it out, because they did help me get my dog back right as far as getting the puppies out of her, you know. But when I took my dog there, they told me they got one puppy out. When I first brought her there, they got one puppy out of her that was stuck in a wound back there at the very back. You know, I probably could have took it out. I just didn't know it was back there. I didn't see it. They said her kidneys and her liver and stuff is failing. Her body is shutting down. I need to make a decision. I need to put her down. That's what I was told. You know, I couldn't put my dog down. You know, but I had to make a decision. You know, and these folks were serious. They came in there and they told me I need to, you know, make a decision. Do I want to put her down, or she's going to die regardless? You know, and if they don't get the puppies out of her, or if she don't have the rest of the puppies, you know, she's going to die. And she's not strong enough. She was too weak. Her body was too weak to have the puppies. So I walked her around and they gave her some type of medicine or whatever to help her go ahead and pass the puppies on out. I was walking her, and you know, she ended up having the puppies by I guess by a couple hours. But she couldn't feed them because of the mastitis and stuff that was in her titties. But make a long story short, my thing is, like I said, who can we trust? The vet told me my dog would have been no more good. She needed to be put down. And if I would have listened to them, that would have been it for Mellow Yellow. But I couldn't. So not only did she live, I got her back right. You know, she was weak when I brought her home. I got her back right. She ended up having another healthy litter of puppies. You know, and thanks to the big much love and shout out to the cornball that called me out in the digital dog show to help me get my dog in tip-top condition. See, that digital dog show that I was competing in, it was a blessing. I didn't compete against the cornball because he quit. He backed out. His dog jumped the box. I didn't compete against him. But what I did do is I got my dog in tip-top shape. You know, she was healthier than probably she's been in a long time. As far as condition-wise, her body. And I believe that me getting her in that condition that she was in helped her on her next litter of puppies. You know, had a healthy litter, no complications at all. No mastitis, great, good, clean milk in her breast. But none of that would have been possible if I would have just listened to what the vet was telling me. Put this pit bull down. And I told the vet that day in the vet office, you know, with water coming out my eyes, on me crying. I said, if this would have been another kind of dog, y'all would have put the effort to try to save this dog. But because it's a pit bull, you want me to put her down. And see, if I wasn't doing my dog show and I wasn't paying attention to the news and I wasn't even, you know, on that level, there's no telling what I would have did. But being that I give y'all the news, being that we talk about this stuff all the time, being that we give our opinions about these vets and we take different stories from brothers and sisters about these vets and different things, I know they're not going to treat the pit bull the way they treat these other dogs that go in there. The pit bull has no chance compared to a chihuahua, compared to a cocker spaniel, compared to a foxhound, compared to a basset hound, anything. The pit bull has no chance. It's always, oh, he's doing bad, or they need to be put down, or they're not going to make it, or it's always that when it comes to the pit bull. You got to know that when you take your pit bull to the vet. Not just to get no shots. I'm talking about when something's wrong. If something's wrong, they're going to be the first ones to say, let's put them down. Or the first ones to go. You got 10 dogs there, and one of them need to go. To make room for the rest of them, the pit bull going to be the one to go. And that's just the way it is, man. And being I knew that is why Mellow Yellow is here today. So it's why I say, who can you trust? When these law enforcement agencies bring these people from the Humane Society, bring these people from the animal shelters, and they have them all up on the screen and making like they're the best pet lovers and the best pet care in the world, it's a damn lie. I done gave y'all news articles where these animal shelters is abusing these dogs worse than the place that they came from when they took them there. See, if we didn't know none of this stuff, it just go, you know, they taking care of the dogs. They in a better place now. But I always say, man, who can you trust with your pit bull terriers? It's good to find your old school vet. Somebody, you know, you got in these country towns, you got people who have pit bulls themselves, but they still run vets. You know, they run vets, but they got a pit bull. Or they've been dealing with pit bulls back in the days, and they'll let you bring your dog in there and treat it. See, this is the thing. If your pit bull get hurt, you know, they'll give you a super high price. Oh, to fix this, we need $5,000. Or you got to put them down. You know, you can't leave with them. You got to either put them down or give us $5,000 to fix it. Oh man, and I want to talk about something else after I show y'all this news article. Let me write this down in my notes real quick. So I won't forget it. Boy, we got something to talk about. But yeah, man, what I want to do is let y'all see these articles. Kershaw, South Carolina, you know, it's going down the way it always go down over the past couple months here in South Carolina. If you're living in South Carolina and you got pit bulls or you got dogs, you're best to take care of them. You know, I mean, it just is what it is. You can call me this, you can call me that, but I'm giving you the truth, fair and unbiased, and raw and uncut, pink Peruvian. Fish scale. That shiny shit look like crayons. Glistening. Look like plastic, you know. I'm giving it to you. I ain't giving you 24 grams and telling you it's 28. I'm giving you the whole 28, maybe 28.5. You know? I ain't giving you a 990 some grams and telling you it's a brick. I'm giving you the whole 1,000 and some. Uncut and raw, man. They don't want it like that. But let me Let me write this note down, and let's get into this Kershaw dog news while I'm doing that, and we're going to get back into this dog talk when I'm done.
Hey. Okay. Before we get started, just let you know that we're, as soon as we get done, as we always do, we'll send everybody a copy of missing reports, photos that you'll see in here. We'll send all that to you. Make sure you have everything. And you might actually end up with more than what we have here on the slideshow, but
More is always better.
yeah, just kind of what you want. Good. All good.
Yeah, taking out the case. There's your clicker.
All right.
If you want to click it.
All right, everybody ready? I'll start off with thanking everybody for showing up here today. This is some pretty important information we want to put out to the public and what's going on Dixon Road in Elgin. Early yesterday morning, we conducted 2 drug search warrants on 2 separate houses. One was at 1483 Dixon Road, and the other one was at 1489 Dixon Road. Of course, we hit them simultaneously with our SRT team. Went inside. There were drug search warrants. We did find drugs inside the house. We made drug arrests inside the house. I guess I could click y'all through some of it. This is 1483, 1489. We did make drug arrests while we were there. You'll see the 5 people that was arrested at both of the residents. Now, drugs is one of the things that we deal with often. It's not uncommon for us to do search warrants for drugs. We do them all the time. What makes this one a little more unique is the fact that one of our deputies, while they were walking around the property, noticed something that really caught their attention. It was the animals they had around the property. They had about, I think it was about 28 or 29 total dogs, and then 1 pig you'll see here in the bottom left that was on the property. And you can tell by the conditions there that the weather was pretty warm yesterday. A lot of them, there was no water. You could tell where they hadn't been eaten. And out of that 28, 29 dogs, about 20 of them were puppies. So there was puppies everywhere at this place. See some of the mixed up slides here, or mixed up photos here. Again, you'll get a copy of all these pictures we have. What kind of makes it unique? A lot of people talk about a drug house, and when they talk about a drug house, they'll say, well, the people that are going there choose to go there. They're choosing to go buy drugs, and the dealer is selling to those who choose to buy the drugs. None of these dogs chose to be involved with whatever it is they got going on here. These dogs deserve better living conditions. Now, some of the ones you see this to your right here that's got like pads underneath them, this was after they were taken from the property and went to our Humane Society. Now, some people may say that, well, maybe he wasn't able to take care of the dogs as well as he wanted to take care of them. Well, this next picture, and it's going to be a little harsh of a picture here for everybody, so this is, it was actually deceased dogs that were left on the edge of the property. Dogs that wasn't taken care of, died for whatever reason we haven't determined yet, but they didn't even get a burial. I mean, it doesn't take a rich person to bury property. When we arrested the owner of this dog, he had like $500 cash in his pocket. Enough money to buy food for these dogs, but here you see where he didn't take the time to give them a proper burial. So we don't know how these dogs died, but we know that the conditions there was just, it was horrible. So we seized all the dogs, take them somewhere safe, and they are being well taken care of. And several agencies were involved. You see here we had, of course, Sheriff's Office, Kershaw County Code Enforcement. Got Will Glover over here, the director. Elgin Police Department, the Camden Police Department, and SLED were all involved in this operation. Again, we went into it thinking it was a drug search warrant, and it turned out to be the dogs, which kind of, you know, that's not your ordinary thing, but we wanted to make sure we took care of everything. And we can't take care of everything ourselves. If you look around the Sheriff's Office, we don't have places to put 30 dogs. And that's where our partners here come in handy. We want to give a special thanks to the Kershaw County Humane Society. When we have animals that we have to seize that are in bad condition, this is who we call. Now, the animals that were seized yesterday, I can't guarantee you they're at the actual Humane Society. They may be in foster care or something at other places. So, but these are the people. This is where they're headquartered at. And they're nonprofit. They're nonprofit. So anybody out there who wishes to donate to them, we would gladly appreciate it because they definitely help us out a lot. We actually have some people from our Humane Society that came here with us, and some of the puppies that were taken from yesterday. Now they were still nursing. That's why they looked pretty healthy. But their mom was giving all she had to keep them fed. And they've had several flea treatments between yesterday and today. But these ladies here that take care of them at the Humane Society are just, I mean, they're amazing. Nobody wants to see animals mistreated. And anytime we get the opportunity to rescue these puppies like that, these are who we call, and we know they're going to be well taken care of. This is Lee Knott. She's actually with the Humane Society.
I'm the president of the board of the Humane Society right now, and we're just here to show the puppies. Sheriff Bone is right. They are still nursing, so that does give them a little bit better body condition than what they would have ended up with had this gone on a few more weeks. We appreciate the collaboration with code enforcement and the code enforcement officers that assist the Sheriff's Department in this. Unfortunately, this is something we are seeing a lot. They go to houses or other residences and for other nefarious things, and then find dogs and other animals. So we're happy to take care of them. If anybody wants to keep up with their progress, you can follow us on Facebook or our website, which is kchumanesociety.org. Thanks.
Thank you. Now, of course, we don't own these puppies at this point here. It'll go through a court process, but hopefully they're going to be rehomed. And some of these famous puppies here, they'll be glad to be adopted and get a home that is going to take care of them. If not, there's plenty of other ones out there. They do a lot of animals that are turned in, and always looking for somewhere to find new homes for these animals. So, and one pig. There is one pig too, and they don't turn anything down. I mean, they'll take horses, pigs. I mean, I think if we took a giraffe there, they would take that. So, they're amazing people. Well, all right, that should about wrap it up. We'd like to keep it short and sweet, unless anybody's got any questions.
What are the people that were arrested, what are they being charged with?
Yeah, glad you brought that up. We've got a list here, but the main one, you see Mr. Dixon to the far left. He was charged with ill treatment, and you'll see, as of right now, 29 counts of ill treatment of animals, and then failure to bury a dead animal. 4 counts of that. There was 4 dead dogs found around the property. Others have their drug charges from the drug search warrant.
Did all 5 of them have drug charges? Yeah.
Yes, all 5 have drug charges.
Did all 5 live in the 2 houses that were shown?
I think 4 out of the 5. I can't probably. You'll have that when we send everything out. I'll have everybody where they're living at. But they were all there at the time. There was actually one other one that was arrested on a Elgin PD warrant. They wasn't connected to drugs or the animal mistreatment.
Did you guys ever receive previous reports or complaints about these 2 addresses before this took place?
For drugs, yes, but not for the animals. Not for the animals, and that's just something that we try to train our guys to be alert when they're going on property for any kind of calls if they're seeing animals mistreated. And we have come across, one or two at a time where somebody's tied them up to a tree and no food, water, they're out in the direct sunlight, and we'll call animal control with our code enforcement to come out and seize the animal for safety. But we don't often come across this many at one time. So when this comes along, this is not a norm. And I know our friends over at the Humane Society, I'm sure they were surprised to find out this many was showing up at one time. But as always, they stepped up, never complained, never try to divert us somewhere else, and they take it on, and they're real champs. And hopefully the 30 dogs that we do have won't end up like the 4 that we seen at the edge of the woods that were left dead without a burial.
Now, was this an instance of dog fighting, or puppy mill? What were the...
We don't know yet. We were looking into that, but at this point here, we couldn't tell. There wasn't a lot of damage as far as, I think one dog has some scratches on her face, but we're really, and that was the one that was in the one picture here in the middle. But it wasn't a whole lot of damage to the other dogs, but so I'm gonna kind of let everybody kind of decide what they think from seeing the pictures and knowing that there's like 30 puppies from several different mother dogs there. And
do you know what the breeds were?
They're probably mixed up some.
They're all pit bull mixes, so they're all just various bully breeds, so just all mixed breed. Based on the experience of what we've had from intake before, it seems like they were breeding and training to do some fighting eventually. Some of them do have old wounds, but it was mostly the mamas and babies that were there with a few males. So it wasn't like a full fight ring, but it was definitely heading that way.
These 5 people, were they known to you before this incident?
In the drug community, our drug guys were familiar with them, but not as far as dogs. That was just something when they went there searching the property and they come across this, they weren't going to turn their heads to it. So even though the search warrant, the investigation had nothing to do with mistreatment of animals, once we got there and saw what was going on, we wasn't going to leave the dogs behind.
But all 5 of them had previous records for drugs, whichever.
I'm pretty sure all of them had other records on there. You'll see some of them had, right here is showing some first offenses we're seeing here, but second, third, subsequent offense on all the other 4.
I have a question for the Humane Society. I know there's a lot of dogs that came out at once, like Sheriff said. How can the community help you guys out right now in this time?
Well, it's definitely, obviously, a strain on the budget. Most animal welfare organizations are at capacity. We stay at capacity, not this large all at once. So it's a lot on the staff. Monetary donations are always great. You can do that on our website and through Facebook. But food as well. If you drop off food, obviously a lot of mamas and babies to feed. And by the looks of them, they'll wean off soon. So it's a lot of puppy food, a lot of puppy mash, pate, and the community is great in reaching out and helping us with this. So, and I don't expect any different now. They've been wonderful.
Do you guys need more fosters now as well as puppy season and kitten season's coming up?
Yes, fosters are great too, and you can get information on our website for that as well, kittens and puppies.
Any particular brand of food that you bring, or?
We're not picky. I mean, we got over 100 dogs there to feed, and then just added 28, 30 more. So pedigree puppy is great, though they seem to tolerate that well. Yep.
That was going to be my question. Can you get a number of what capacity looks like for you right now?
We're at 184 dogs right now, and that will climb to around 250 within the next 2 months. Our cats will slowly increase to about 200 cats in about a month or 2. Baby season is obviously here on top of that, but we're seeing a higher increase of mums and babies this year already. I mean, I already have 9 mums with litters already at the shelter, and that's from the last week, and that's not including the ones from us. So the overpopulation crisis is here, and it's everywhere, and we are struggling on that aspect of things, but like she said, the community steps in, we get volunteers, we get fosters, we work with rescue partners, but right now it's just the overpopulation is everywhere.
This is more for the sheriff. I know this was a drug case that turned into this animal welfare case. can you give an overall message to the community? Obviously, you're not standing for this type of behavior when you see these gruesome photos that you're showing.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get on it. We have in the past. We'll continue to do it. Anytime we go on a call, whether it's a animal call or not, when we get there, we're gonna make sure we call the proper people that can come and step in to take care of the animals, and we're gonna do the best we can to protect them. If somebody's out there mistreating animals, this is not the best county to live in.
And are you able to give a case count? I don't know if this is the first animal cruelty case of the year for you all, or
This many animals, yes. Matter of fact, we got one of our guys on our team. He's our specialist in the animal cruelty stuff, and this is the most animals he's taken in his career doing it. So this was a lot of animals, but as far as this year, none really sticks out other than this one here. It definitely jumped up, and ordinarily after a search warrant, I want to know, what all we seized, who all got arrested, what kind of charges. But when everything kind of shifted to the animal welfare pretty quick.
Going back to the drug case just a moment, the 5 suspects, were they part of one operation that you were looking at, or they just happened to be near each other?
Yeah, I think the majority of them was there. I mean, at the house. We didn't just roll in there that morning. There's a lot of things when it comes to the drug world we don't share. But yeah, this was an ongoing investigation for drug activity. And by the way, you'll see some of the charges, proximity of a school. They're right beside Blaney Elementary in Stover and Elgin, and that was one of the reasons we chose to wait till school was out for spring break before going there and let them know that we're thinking about them.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was a case of just these happened to be two houses that you were looking at separately.
No, they were.
On the hit, or whether
They were tied. Yeah, they were tied together. As a matter of fact, Mr. Dixon there, he's dogs were seized from both properties. He took responsibility for all the dogs. He claimed all of them as his. That's why he's the only one that was charged with.
Even though it's 2 separate properties.
Yes.
Was there any evidence or maybe ways of telling maybe potentially how long these animals were being mistreated?
No, we hadn't really got into that yet. I don't know if we'll be able to. So far, we don't have much cooperation from the former owners of the dogs.
Have neighbors said anything that live in that area regarding?
I don't know of any complaints we've had there on the animals. I don't know of any complaints. I guess they wasn't making much noise, and it took us going there searching for something else to find them.
What kind of drugs and stuff did you find besides
Well, I think we had some meth and some fentanyl, crack cocaine. Anybody else? Again, we want to thank y'all for coming, and we definitely want to thank this group behind me here from the Kershaw County Humane Society, and they're some true heroes. We appreciate them.
We'll send out a press release with everything attached. You can copy the report and everything here just a little.
Good Thursday evening to you. Thanks for watching the news at 5. We begin in Kershaw County with a search warrant for drugs taking a turn. When authorities got to the scene, not only did deputies find those drugs, but say they also found more than 24 animals living in absolutely dreadful conditions. Our Mike White is live in Kershaw County. You were there when the sheriff made the announcement about this. What's going on?
Yeah, Brian, right now, 5 people are currently facing charges after authorities say that they found not only drugs, but 28 dogs and a pig being mistreated. Now, Sheriff Lee Bones says that the animal cruelty portion of this incident came as a complete shock and quite a disturbing one. Now, Bones says authorities found drugs like meth and fentanyl at the scene. Then when authorities found the animals, the sheriff says the living conditions were so bad they called for immediate rescue and seizure. Authorities say the homes at 1483 and 1489 Dixon Road had previous reports about drugs but nothing about animals. animals. And out of the 5 people arrested, a man named Brandon Dixon is being charged with ill treatment of animals and failure to bury a dead animal. The other 4 people are facing numerous drug charges. Now, Kershaw County Humane Society officials says it looks like the drugs are being used for breeding, and the animals are now recovering from injuries at the Humane Society.
This is not a norm, and I know our friends over at the Humane Society, I'm sure they were surprised to find out this many was showing up at one time, but as always, they stepped up, never complained, never try to divert us somewhere else, and they take it on, and they're real champs. And hopefully the 30 dogs that we do have won't end up like the 4 that we seen at the edge of the woods that were left dead without a burial.
Now, Sheriff Lee Bones says as of right now, there is no evidence or idea on how long these animals were being mistreated. And the Kershaw County Humane Society says that the hope is that the recovery period is just a few weeks for these animals. Reporting in Kershaw County, Mike White. Watch Fox News Local First.
Only got one thing to say about that article that I saw. Those some big puppies that say they still nursing on the mama. I ain't gonna lie to you, them motherfuckers like Petey Wheatstraw, the devil's son-in-law, full-grown dogs. Full-grown damn dogs sucking on the mama nipples. The mama to them puppies, she shouldn't even have no milk left, big as them puppies is. You know, them puppies gotta be at least 2 months old and better in them folk arm, man. Gots to be. But let's get into this real quick, because I want to speak to my brothers about this right here, my sisters. You know, I seen a brother on Facebook post yesterday. He said, beware in Mississippi. Mississippi, he said, that's where he at. He says, he been ordering Amazon for a while, right? The Amazon girl that come to where he's at, she been using a stick to scare away the dogs in the yard. Like, you know, just walking, deliver her package to the porch, but having a stick in her hand, you know? I want to say he was swinging at them time to time, not trying to hit them, but just making them get back, you know? I'm not sure if they was on chains or what. I want to say they was chained up, but I'm not sure. Tell you the truth 100%. But what I am sure of is what he said. The girl beat his dog this time. She be coming from Meridian, Mississippi. I think that's what he said, Meridian. I think that's how you pronounce it, or Medarian. He said she comes from that direction. All right, he says, this time she didn't fake like she was gonna hit him, or she didn't just have the stick in her hand. She actually hit one of the small dogs. And he said these dogs are 15, 20-pound dogs. I'm not sure what kind of dogs they were, you know, but he said she hit him, broke his leg or something like that, and they had to take the dog to the vet. The vet told them they had to put the dog down or pay about $5,000. He said his wife and his kids were upset about the situation, and I can understand that totally. My thing is, I would contact Amazon somehow or another. You know, I'll take out a civil suit. You know, the dog didn't attack her. If the dog did attack her, she should have stayed on the porch and not make the delivery. This is the thing. I deal with dogs. If I'm scared of a dog who's going to attack me in that yard and I'm a delivery driver, I'm not going to get out the truck. Hey, yo, I couldn't deliver that package today because he got loose dogs in the yard. You know, tell him he got to tie them dogs up or the package is going to be beside the road. You know, I'm going to sit the package right here. I'm going to take a picture, sit it right here, and then I'm going to take a picture of the dogs. You know, a video of the dogs or whatever. But I'm not going to go in the yard if I'm scared the dog's going to bite me. She hit the dogs, broke one of them legs. They had to put the dog down. You know, so my thing is, what kind of shit is that? You know, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. You hit my damn dog like that, I'm going to go to your ass. I don't give a damn who you delivering for and what sex she is, female or male. If the dog don't attack you, if the dog attack you, I can understand, you know, why you're doing what you're doing. But if the dog don't attack you, man, listen here, you about to have a problem on your hand, you know. You gonna have a problem, and that's just all it is to it. I can't see it being no other way but you having a problem on your hand. I had to put my dog down because you want to have a stick in your hand and you want to play Billy Badass, you know, when you come to bring a delivery. I mean, the package delivery instructions don't say, oh, you must put it on the porch no matter what. If it's 5 dogs out there, you must put it on. You got to walk through them dogs and put it on. Listen here, man. Common sense is common sense. You better have common sense, because if you hit my damn dog, and I hope Amazon delivery driver hearing me now out there. For one, if I know I got a package coming, I got the dogs put up. If I got a loose dog in the front yard and I know I got a package coming that day, then I'm going to tie the dog up. I'm going to put him in the cage. That's just how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to handle it, you know, because I know I got a delivery coming. But, you know, like the brother said, she hit his dog, broke his leg, and they had to suffer the consequences because they had to pay $5,000 or put the dog down, and they had to put the dog down. So, you know, how do you think I would have gotten, well, I know I would have probably got in trouble, you know, if I went out there and slapped the hell out of her. I definitely would have went out there, took that stick from her, and I might be able to call the police on her, you know. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to leave you in a lose-lose situation. That package, like I said, that package didn't have a mandatory, get this package right here, no matter what kind of danger you got to put yourself in to get this package right here. I'll be out there in front of your house blowing the damn horn. Yo, you got a delivery out here. Come get these dogs so you can get your package. Or I'm just going to, like I say, leave it beside the road. That's why they got horns for. No, that's why you got the big truck or big van you driving or whatever vehicle you driving, car or whatever. You know? I mean, I don't really know what she was thinking, you know, by beating them folk dog. Maybe she was having a bad day, or maybe she always come to this particular house and the dogs are loose or something. But at the end of the day, you can't beat somebody damn dogs. And I mean, unless they attack you or something, yeah, that's common sense then. Use common sense. A lot of times we're not using common sense in these situations. So, like the brother say, watch out for her, because she's still driving. You know, like he say, if she beat his dog, she'll beat your dog too. But I mean, I clear, boy. I don't know how it was gonna happen if she would have hit my damn dog. But 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, she would have hit my dog. She would have had to go in another part of the yard, outside of where the delivery route was at, the delivery path was at. Because if I know I got a delivery coming, I'm not gonna leave the dogs out there. You know, when I have Mellow Yellow in the house and I let her out to use the bathroom and she's in the front, if I got a delivery coming, then I take her and I put her back in the cage. I don't want the delivery man to come while she's, you know, roaming the yard. Just common sense, man. And I tell you, sometimes you don't have to be the Einsteins. You just gotta have a little common sense in these situations. Little common sense would have told her to stay on that truck until somebody come out there to receive the package. A little common sense would have told, you know, well, I'm gonna say it like this, you know, police would have had to be called in the situation. Because now, if you let her off, coming to Facebook with it without going to the actual Amazon company to try to get her in trouble, it's not gonna really help. Outside of Pelican Bay getting your article and me, I'm speaking across the world. So, you know, they'll hear about it. I don't know her name, but I know she drives Amazon. And like the brother said, she's coming from the Meridian, and I want to be pronouncing it right, Meridian or Meridian, Mississippi area. I had to look at it and see exactly how it's spelled to know if I'm pronouncing it. I just glanced at it real fast, you know. But that's crazy, man. Amazon driver, you know, and just imagine if you just bringing me something, just some simple stuff, you know, nothing major. And now you kill my dog. I mean, you didn't literally kill them, but you put them in the situation to have to get put down. So the brother went to Facebook, and like he said, watch out for the girl. It would have been a big help if he would have had a name. He probably don't got a name, you know, but it would have been a big help. Sometimes when you look at your Amazon order slip, it'll tell you who delivering your package. It'll have a picture of them and who delivering and who to wait for or be waiting for, you know, to pull up in your yard. And I ain't no big badass person, but I don't know how else I would have reacted knowing you hit my damn dog with a stick. I'm telling you, if I wouldn't even seen it until later on after you left, maybe 5 minutes, I would have tried to find you and catch you. But at the same time, that's me overreacting instead of doing it how it's supposed to be done. You know, call the police, report the situation, you know, and then make sure you call Amazon and report the situation. You may have to get a lawyer. Amazon will have to pay me some duckies. I'll take a lawsuit. Hey, my brother, if you're watching this video, go civil on them, man. Go civil on them, because common sense should have told that girl to stay in the damn car, blow the horn, and get you to come outside. Leave that package by the road. They have to take a picture of all the packages they deliver. Whenever they deliver, they have to take a picture to show that they delivered the package. I don't care if they come up in a big truck or if they driving in their personal cars. They have to take that picture when they leave it on the porch or wherever they leave it at. They have to take a picture. You know? So, I mean, hey, don't go out like that, fam. You know, don't go out like that, man. Press the issue. In my opinion, I think you should press the issue. Unless you feel like the dog was in the wrong. You know, if you just feel like you don't want to go through the situation or you just want it to be over, okay, cool, I understand that. But I'll press the issue if it's a dog and you say your kid's upset and your wife upset, then the dog was important enough to get upset about, I'll press the issue, man. You know, that's really an issue worth pressing. And you're dealing with a company like Amazon, that's the next thing to Walmart. She got to prove that the dog was trying to attack her. And like I said, the judge gonna say the same thing. Why you just didn't stay in the car and blow the horn? Like I said, it's nothing that Amazon driver requirements that say you got to go through 8 dogs that's trying to bite you to put this package on the porch. I see them do it all the time. I see brothers got dogs in the yard and Amazon come up. These folks leave the package on the car, leave the package by the mailbox. They leave it all kind of different places. When they got a yard full of dogs, they can't walk past. And these be brothers, like men. So, I mean, I don't know, man. This is one particular time I'm giving my opinion because, you know, I'm glad I'm not in that situation. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm glad I'm not in that situation. Anybody who makes Amazon orders, if you got animals in your front yard where the people got to come at, you need to move the animals so the people can get to your front door. Make sure the animals can't reach. Make sure these Amazon delivery drivers are safe to bring your package and bring it to your house. I mean, it go both ways, man. These folks bringing you your package, they don't want to be running from them damn dog. You know, they don't want to be doing it. And maybe the girl say, man, the hell with what Pelican Bay talking about. That was a dog that's going to bite me, and I ain't getting bit for no damn body. Whop. You know, so like I said, I went there to see the actual events go on, to know the full story. I just looked at what the brother was posting on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And he said, like I said, $5,000 what they try to charge him at the vet. He didn't have it, they put him down. Whether he had it or not, they weren't going to put it on that dog, they put him down. You know, so be careful out there, man. Just try to avoid the situation. Just try to make it safer for them Amazon delivery drivers. When they come in your yard, make sure they got a clean path. And everything should be all right. It's your boy PB K9s coming from the PBC. We live in effect. Giving it to you how we always give it to you. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay legal. Y'all hit that like button before you get up out of here. and I'm out.